What's up, outsiders? I'm back in the Adirondacks, this time to tackle the Seward Range. So I'm at the trailhead of the Seward Range, and in the winter it's actually closed, so you got about a 3-mile road walk before you actually get to the real trailhead. Today's goal is to just tackle the Sewards, Donaldson, Emmons, and Seward. If everything goes really well, the weather stays, the trail is broken, I may consider Seymour, but it's already a 20-mile day, and adding Seymour is another 5 miles, so I don't think that's very likely. Plus, the weather is very mild. Right now it's about 28 degrees, and they're actually expecting it to get up to like 36, and there's some snow changing to rain, so I'm probably not going to want to hike through that. So this is my first solo winter hike, and I'm pretty excited to get out there. We're here really early. It's about 4 a.m. because I want to avoid some of that weather later in the day. Got a long hike to the trailhead and then a long hike up Calkins Brook to the Sewards. So let's go. The skies are super clear and we have this beautiful full moon behind me. Almost don't even need a headlamp on this road. It's illuminated pretty good. GoPro probably doesn't show it. Came up this road 3 miles on the dot. Took me a little less than an hour, so it's gonna add 2 hours to my total thing, about 6 miles round trip. Now I'm gonna take the trail and meet up with the Calkins Brook. Feeling good, a little windy. They did predict about 60-mile-an-hour winds. That moon is spectacular. A couple times I thought somebody was coming up behind me, but it was just the moon. Things are going good. The return trip on this road won't be too bad. It'll be slightly downhill, packed snow, autopilot. So I'm looking forward to these summits. Let's get moving on it. Well, I met a guy coming out on a trail. He's been out here since noon yesterday. He did the Seward Range, 18 hours on the trail. That's a lot. But he did say there's been a couple people up there. There's a lot of snow, but it was broken out, which is a good sign. The trail is really packed. I'm moving really fast on it now, almost to the Calkins Brook Junction. Starting to snow a little bit, and the winds have picked up, so should be an interesting day. Sorry folks, no cinematic hiking sequences on this one. I got 20 miles to cover and I only want to do it once, so a lot of first person, a lot of headshots. So far moving pretty good, a little bit of snow, but it's packed well, broken down pretty good. Skies are starting to brighten up, the sun is coming up. I don't think I'm gonna get there for a sunrise, but getting this headlamp off will be nice. Brightening up a bit, ditched my headlamp, and it's my first time really stressing that night core, so I plugged it into my battery, so if I need it again, it's gonna be fresh. Winds are pretty strong. We're protected here, and if I remember right, the Sewards aren't really exposed, so it shouldn't be too bad. Still snowing slightly. Making pretty good time. We're getting there. Okay. Just came to the junction of where Calkins Brook heads this way towards the Sewards, and not sure where it goes that way. Making good time. We're about 2 hours in. 6:30 is brightening up. We're kind of in a valley right now, protected from the wind, and the snow has stopped. Gonna head up this way. I think we gotta cross Calkins Brook, and this is one of the things that I'm a little nervous about with the temperatures rising. I remember a trip back a couple of years ago. We went to the Feldspar Lean-To and did Marcy's, Gray, Skylight, Cliff and Redfield. And the first day was like 20 degrees. And the second day was like 50 degrees. And the creek crossings were like really sketchy. They come up really fast here in the mountains. So I'm hoping to get back this way before there's any kind of rain or warm-ups. So I think this is Calkins Brick behind me. Looks like it's just a snow bridge over right now. Doesn't look like it could thaw out that quickly, but hopefully it doesn't. I can get out before there's rain. And the only alternative would be to go back over the top of Seward's, and at that point I would probably spend the night at one of the lean-tos. So this looks like it's in good shape now. Hopefully it is on the return. So I took a little break to get some water and some food, check the map where I am. So I'm using Avenza again, see where we are on the map. So next stop, Donaldson. Got a little ways to go, a couple thousand feet I think to climb. So we're about 8.5 miles in. We're at maybe 3,200 feet, 3,300 feet of elevation. Got a little ways to go there, but I think we only got less than a half mile to the summit. Trail is still broken well. It's not steep, but it's just a gradual up. So I can see how this can definitely be a bugger if you had to break trail. It would definitely take some effort. I'm in a valley right now, so the winds are not bad. Just a beautiful trail right now. Going through the hemlock trees covered in snow. We should be at Donaldson soon. So I had slight mental breakdown right here. Going under this tree right here, my ice axe got caught. It's been getting caught a bunch and getting looser and looser back there. And finally I just lost it. There was a couple F-bombs and had to just take my pack off and regroup, cinch it down a little differently, and hopefully I'm in good shape now to make the summit. So I think I'm on the summit of Donaldson right now. I know there's supposed to be a sign, but I think it's buried here somewhere. Unless I missed it coming up. There's a couple of lookouts that I went to. I didn't see a sign, but this is definitely the highest point along this ridge. Now we're gonna keep heading down that way to Emmons. When I came to the other side of Donaldson, winds were whipping. It got really chilly. Now I'm in between Donaldson and Emmons over here, and there's almost no winds. Looks like Emmons is just up that way, not too much farther. Obviously no views today. The snow's just come in and has us kind of socked in. As you can see, the trail is pretty narrow. All right, looks like I'm just about to the summit of Mount Emmons. Yes, there's the sign, Mount Emmons. Another winter 46er, one closer. Socked in, nothing here. Back to the junction. Donaldson's that way, Calkins is back that way. Seward's is somewhere in that abyss right there. I'm gonna go down in a call, back up to Seward. It's about as far as Emmons was from here, so it'll take a little bit of effort. And then we'll be back here to head on home. It's only 10:42 right now. I really would love to hit Seymour, but I think I'm gonna make the conservative choice. I told my wife I wouldn't push it. We still got maybe a little mile and a half to come back to here, and then like 8 miles home. So still early in the day. It's a tough choice. It's windy, kind of a crummy day. I don't think that trail's gonna be broken up, but we'll see. Tough choice. My gut's saying just come back here and go home. Come back to Seymour another day. Let's hit Seward first. Snow's too deep to get a good glissade. So it might be some effort to get over to here. So I'm trying something new. My wife, Mrs. Outside Chronicles, got me these Cliff Energy blocks, and I kind of like them. They froze in my bag, so I had to put them in my pocket for a while. And then when I put them in my mouth, I kind of suck on them, kind of get the juices, gives me a good feeling. And then chewing them, you know, kind of gives it a little more flavor and gives my mouth something to do, keeps me occupied, and they taste really good. The one packet is like 200 calories. 3 blocks are 100 calories. So it's a good little snack. I'm gonna definitely use them again. I got them in my mouth right now. I probably shouldn't have put them in before I talked about it, but they're good. So I'm in the call between Seward and that junction. Trail is not broken out all that great, so a little bit of effort. We're getting there. Won't be too much longer to be on the summit of Seward. So from that call going up Seward, it's definitely not broken out, and it's quite a bit of effort here. Slow going too. Post holing here and there, even with snowshoes, but I can see the top. Not too much farther to go. I think this is the last little push. Woo! Seward! Yes! Feels good, feels good. Third summit of the day. And got some intel. Guy just came up that north route and it's broken out. That's actually my fastest way down, and then I can make a gain time decision at the base whether I do Seymour. He said about 5 people have gone up it, so I think I might give it a try. It's 11:45, so I'm gonna have some grub here and head down. Hopefully I got a cell signal to tell my wife what my plan is, And yeah, this feels really good being up here. Nice. A little windy still. Okay, so we've come to the main trail. We've made it down off of Seward, met some people along the way, and they did see more. So I'm gonna, trail junction's just up there a little bit. I'm gonna get up to the trail junction, regroup, get some food in me, get some water, readjust all my clothing, and head up Seymour. I think it's maybe 3 miles round trip. It's kind of a mixed precip right now. It's a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow. The snow is actually clumping to my snowshoes, so it seems to be above freezing, but the trail should be pretty packed. On one shoulder, my wife's saying, "You're nuts. Turn around right here and go home." On the other shoulder, I got David Goggins whispering in my ear saying, "You're weak. It's all in your head. You can do this. Get to the top and then do the 6 miles out. Do the work." So I think I'm gonna do that. And I feel pretty good. It's still pretty early in the day, so why not? Saves me coming like 16 miles back this way to do Seymour. So time to push. It's all in my head. Try to stay with positive mental focus right now. Here's my burpee test. Late in the day, one more mountain to summit, and then a long slog out. Weather's kind of changing as expected. It's above freezing, I'm guessing, and kind of that mixed precip still. Hopefully it's a little frozen at as we get up to elevation, and then I'll have that 6 mile, half trail, half road walk out. I'm not looking forward to that. That's gonna be, I think I'll put on a book and just zone out for that one. But the good news is it's all downhill, all broken out. Shouldn't be bad. Now let's just get to the top of Seymour. Oh my God. This has been a lot more effort than I was thinking it was gonna be. And I believe this is the summit here. The snow is really wet from the temperatures and that mixed precip. So everything is balling up. My snowshoes were all just clumpy. I was gonna turn around in a couple of spots because I just couldn't get up it. I switched to micro spikes. They would clump up, but I was just toe kicking into the snow and almost on all fours in a couple areas, but I made it here. Holy smokes. I want to say that this sign better be here, and it's gonna feel way better than my 46er. All right, where's the sign? No sign? Come on. What does Avenza tell me? This has got to be the summit. There's nowhere else to go. Avenza says we're on the summit. That's the end of the road. Maybe there isn't a sign here, but man, this feels good to be up here. I think I'm gonna switch back to snowshoes on the way down. It's gonna be a pretty fast ride down. Hopefully I can slide in Glissade most of the way. And whew, total mental and physical effort to get here. I can't believe it. But now I gotta get down. I'm only halfway there. I got a mile down and about 6 miles out. I think I'm gonna be on autopilot with the audiobook, but this feels good to get all 4 of these in the winter in one day. So I think that's it for now. I'll probably see you guys back at the car. So I'm not at my car. That last 6 miles was super boring As I said like 6 other times in the video, I was listening to an audiobook, and just a long slog out. The first 3 miles was okay, but once I got back to that road, it just dragged on forever and ever, and my mind was going all different places. And if you had asked me if I'd ever climb a high peak or come to the Adirondacks again at that moment, my answer would probably be no. But now that I'm done back home, I really feel good about the accomplishment of getting all 4 of those mountains done in the Seward Range. My primary objective was just to get the first 3, Donaldson, Emmons, and Seward. And I had that secondary objective to go to Seymour. It was only gonna happen if like 4 things came together. Number 1, the weather conditions were good. Number 2, I got to Seward by noon. Number 3, that trail going down Seward and hopefully up Seymour was all broken out. And the 4th thing that had to come together was I had to be able to contact either my wife or the guys I drove up with to let them know my trip plan has changed a little bit. If I couldn't do that, I was going to turn around and just head down towards the car and not tackle Seymour. But everything came together and I was able to get over to Seymour. I didn't get a whole lot of footage there. I got to a point where I thought I had to turn around. It got a little bit steep, and with the melting conditions, I just couldn't get any traction going up the mountain. I had left my ice axe at the trailhead of Seymour because I was frustrated with it getting all screwed up on tree branches. Had I had it in that section, it would have made it a little bit easier. Instead of being on all 4s, I could have used the ice axe to pull myself up a little bit, but it all worked out. I'm glad it's over with. I'm glad I did it. It was a big day. It was like 30 miles, over 8,500 feet of elevation, solo, so it definitely played with my head and my focus and my mental stamina to keep going. Physically, I felt really good. I got back to the car and was super hungry. Only thing open was McDonald's, which I don't usually eat, but I got a Big Mac meal, chocolate milkshake, and one of their new spicy chickens. Ate all of that right away and was still hungry. So I definitely had some hiker hunger to finish the trail. So I hope you learned a couple lessons of my solo trip, and I hope you liked this video. If you did, click that like button. If you want to see other outdoor adventures, gear reviews, how-tos, be sure to subscribe to my channel. That's it for now. I'll see you guys outside.